The Midnight Library. I can never be all the people I want and, and live all the lives I want. I can never train myself in all the skills I want. And why do I want? I want to live and feel all the shades, tones, and variations of mental and physical experience possible in my life. Sylvia Plath. Between life and death, there is a library, she said, and within that library, the shelf go on forever. Every book provides a chance to try another life you could have lived, to see how things would be if you had made other choice. Would you have done anything different if you had the chance to undo your regrets? A conversation about rain. 19 years before she decided to die, Nora sat in the warmth of the small library Heselden school in the town of Bedford. She sat at a low table staring at chessboard. Nora dear, it's not there to worry about your future, said the librarian, Mr. Earn, her eyes twinkling. Mr. Earn made his first move, a knight hopping over the neat row of white balls. Of course, you're going to be worried about the exams, but you could be anything you want to be. Nora, think of all that possibility. It's exciting. Yes, I suppose it is. A whole life in front of you. A whole life. You could do anything, live anywhere. Somewhere a bit less good and wet. Nora pushed a bound forward to space. It was hard not to compare Mr. Earl to her mother, who treated Nora like a mistake in need of correction. For instance, when she was a baby, her mother had been so worried. Nora left her slug out more than her right, that she used sticky tape to address the situation. Then disguised it beneath a woolen bonnet. I hate the cold and wet, added Mr. N for emphasis. Mr. N had short grey hair and kind and neatly crinkled oval face sitting well above her turtle green polo neck. She was quite old, but she was also the person most on Nora's wavelength in the entire school, and even on days when it wasn't raining she would spend her afternoon break in the small library. Goodness and witness that don't always go together. Nora told her Antarctica is the driest continent on Earth. Technically, it's a desert. Well, that sounds up your street. I don't think it's far enough away. Well, maybe you should be an astronaut. Travel the galaxy. Nora smiled. The rain is even worse in the other planets. Worse than Bedfordshire? On Venus, it is pure acid. Mr. N pulled a paper tissue from her sleeve and delicately blew her nose. See, with a brain like yours, you can do anything. A blond boy Nora recognized from a couple of years below her own pass outside the rain-speckled window, either chasing someone or being chased. Since her brother had left, she'd felt a bit onward. Out there, the library was a little shoulder of civil, civilization. That things Ivy throw everything away. Now, Ivy stopped swimming. Well, far be it from me to say, but there is more that this world that swimming really fast. There are many different possible lives ahead of you. Like I said that last week, you could be a glaciologist, I've been researching in them, and it was then that the phone rang. 1 minute, said Mr. N. Softly, I better get that. Moment later, Nora watched Mr. N on the phone. Yes, she's here now. The librarian's face fell in shock. She turned away from Nora, but her words were audible across the hushed room. Oh no, oh my god, of course. 19 years later, the man at the door. 27 hours before she decided to die. Nora sat on her nearly dead, Sophie scrolling through other people's happy lives, waiting for something to happen. And then out of nowhere, something actually did. Someone, for whatever peculiar reason, rang her doorbell. She wondered for a moment if she shouldn't get the door at all. She was after already in her nightclothes, even though it was only 9 p.m. She felt self-conscious about her oversized echo worn shirt and her tapping pajama bottoms. She put on her slippers to be slightly more civilized and discovered that the person at the door was a man, and once she recognized he was tall and gangly and boyish, with a calm face, but his eyes were sharp and bright. Lady Good she threw things. It was good to see him, if a little surprising, especially as he was wearing sports gear and he looked hot and sweet despite the cold, rainy weather. The juxtaposition between them made her feel even more slovenly than she had done 5 seconds earlier. But she'd been feeling lonely, and though she'd studied and know existential philosophy, to Elix loneliness was a fundamental part of being a human in an essentially meaningless universe. It was good to see him, Ash, she said, smiling. It's Ash, isn't it? Yes, it is. What are you doing here? It's good to see you. A few weeks ago, she'd been sat playing her electric piano and he'd wound down Bancroft Avenue and had seen her in the window here at 33A and given her a little wave. He, he had once years ago asked her out for a coffee. Maybe he was about to again. It's good to see you too, he said, but his tense forehead didn't show it. When she'd spoken to him in the shop, he'd always sounded breezy, but now his voice contained something heavy. He scratched his brow with another sound, but didn't quite manage a full word. You running? A pointless question. He was clearly out for a run, but he seemed relieved momentarily that have something terrible to say. Yeah, I don't that bad for half. It is the Sunday. Alright, great. It was thinking the doing of half marathon and I remember I had running. This had sounded funnier in her head than it did as actual words being vocalized out of her mouth. She didn't even hate running, but still she was perturbed to see the seriousness of the expression. The silence went beyond outward into something else.